Brandeis once wrote that the right to be left alone is the most cherished of rights, the most prized among civilized men. But we're having this debate now, and it's an important debate to have in our country. The debate over whether or not one single warrant can collect all of the phone records. Now, this does separate us, but it's a valid debate to have, and it's a good debate to have. Can we have the Bill of Rights? Can we have the Fourth Amendment? Can we protect your right to privacy and still catch terrorists? Or must we be frightened? Must we be so frightened that we give up on what our founding fathers fought for in order to catch terrorists? It is a valid debate, but it is an important debate. John Adams wrote that the debate over the Fourth Amendment, the debate over general warrants, the debate over whether an individual's name has to be on the warrant was the spark that led to the revolution. If we want to be the party that is the party of the entire Bill of Rights, if we want to be the party that defends the Second Amendment, we've got to defend the Fourth Amendment and the First Amendment and the entire Bill of Rights. When I see a warrant that has some guy's name Verizon on it, I don't know anyone named Mr. Verizon. You need to have an individual's name on it. We catch rapists, we catch murderers, and we can catch terrorists by calling a judge. I don't care if it's the middle of the night, you call a judge, you get a warrant. I don't care how deep in the haystack we go. I want to catch terrorists, but I also want to protect the Constitution. We will have this debate next week. It'll be over whether or not we can have the bulk collection of phone records with a general warrant or not. It is an important debate. It's a valid debate and something we should have in our country. We are also having the debate, and the question was asked of one of our candidates this week, was the Iraq War a mistake? Was it a good idea? Would you do it again? It's a valid question, not because we're just talking about history, but we're talking about the Middle East, where history repeats itself. It seems to repeat itself. We have the question, is Iraq more stable or less stable since Hussein is gone? Is there more chaos or less chaos? Is there more of the rise of radical Islam? Is ISIS more of a threat now because of the instability? But the same question that was asked of Republicans needs to be asked of Hillary Clinton. Someone needs to ask Hillary Clinton, if she ever takes any questions, someone needs to ask Hillary Clinton, was it a good idea to topple Gaddafi in Libya? I think it's a disaster. Libya is a failed state. Someone ought to pay, and Hillary Clinton needs to answer questions about it. We topple a strong man, a secular strong man. Gaddafi's gone, but what's in his place? Chaos and the rise of radical Islam. It is a failed state. A third of Libya now pledges allegiance to ISIS. Our ambassador was killed. Our embassy had to flee. They fled overland into Tunisia. It's an utter disaster. Maybe we should think before we act. I'm a physician. In a Hippocratic Oath, we say, first, do no harm. It means think about what we're doing before we do it. We are more at risk now that Gaddafi is gone. We had this debate. Hillary Clinton came before my committee, and we talked about the fact that for 9 months leading up to the ambassador's death, she refused to provide adequate security. Time after time, she released the security. The security was sent home. Finally, in August, the cables are sent. Ambassador Stevens is pleading for help. And I asked her frankly in the committee, I said, did you read the cables pleading for help? She said no. She acted as if she had more important things to do. But here's the thing. Time after time, not just that day, time after time for 9 months, she didn't answer the call. The one thing you have to do as Commander-in-Chief is you have to defend America and her interests. I think Hillary Clinton, by her failure to defend Benghazi, by her failure to defend the ambassador, should forever preclude her from holding higher office. If we want to win, we have to be a bigger, better, bolder party. We need new people in our party. We need to defend the entire Bill of Rights. That means we need to reach out to people who have not been Republicans. It's not just about the Second Amendment. It's just not the Fourth Amendment. The Fifth and Sixth Amendment are about justice. They're about having your day in court. The thing is, we've had this debate also, and it separates some in our party, but it's a good debate to have. We had a debate over whether or not you can indefinitely detain an American citizen, whether an American citizen could be kept and sent to Guantanamo Bay without a trial. And I had this debate with another senator, a Republican senator, on the floor, and I said, my goodness, you wouldn't send them without a trial forever. And he said, yeah, if they're dangerous. I said, kind of begs the question, doesn't it? Who gets to decide who's dangerous and who's not? But realize it's not just about terrorism. It's also about our inner city. A couple of months ago, there was a story written in the New Yorker of Khalif Browder, 16-year-old black man arrested, accused of a crime. I don't know if he committed the crime, but he was put in jail for 3 years without a trial. The Sixth Amendment says not only do you get a trial, you get a speedy trial. He tried to commit suicide. He was held in solitary confinement. Many of us don't encounter that in our daily lives. Many of us would have had the $3,000 to get our kid out of jail. But when you see people unhappy in our country, when you see the unhappiness going on, realize that this is the life that some people lead. And if you're Khalif Browder's mom or his friends or anybody who lives in his neighborhood in the Bronx, you can see how they're unhappy and they don't feel like they're being treated justly. And what I say to you is, you want to be the bigger, better, bolder party that wins elections? You will be, we will be, when we protect the Sixth Amendment as much as we protect the Second Amendment. Some say we should dilute our values. Some say let's be more like the Democrats. How about Democrat light? What I say is we can stick to our principles, but talk about our principles in a way to new people to bring them into the party. I think the sky's the limit. And I think if we take that message with optimism to new people, they will join. So many people have been taken for granted by the other side, but have always voted Democrat, are ready to come our way. We're seeing it. In the purple states, there are very few Republicans that are leading Hillary Clinton. The reason we are is because we're reaching out to new people and to new independents. That's how you win elections. As we move forward and we try to make our party bigger, better, and bolder, the way we do it, I think, is with bringing a message that has hope, bringing a message that is a clarion call to those who haven't had hope in our country. There was a painter by the name of Robert Henrine. He exhorted young painters, and he said to them, paint like a man coming over the hill singing. I love the image of that. I think when we become the party that proclaims our message like Patrick Henry, with the passion of Patrick Henry, but also proclaims that message like a man coming over the hill singing, then we'll be the dominant party again. I want to be part of that, and I hope you do too. Thank you very much.
Please welcome